Today we're going to be talking about idealization and reality. I've definitely been in a situation where I idealized a relationship just to find out that it was just a dream in my head and it would never happen. I've been in a situation where I idealized a couple on Instagram just to realize they're just as human as I am. I'm pretty sure you've idealized a couple just to find out that they've been cheating on each other and it's been a very chaotic and messy relationship. But they never showed you that. You see, we always idealized things. I even idealized how a mother should be. Can you believe that? Like, where did I get the idea that a mother should act in a certain way? I've never had a mother before. You can only have one mother. Like, how does that get into my mind? We idealize everything. We idealize relationships. Idealization is the act of seeing something or someone as perfect or flawless, often based on fantasy or high expectations. I definitely had high expectations of my mother. I do not know why. My mom is a very amazing woman and she did amazing jobs and she sacrificed a lot for my sake, and I wish to prepare her in the future as long as I'm getting that money, you know what I mean? But why do we do this? Why do we have such high expectations of the future that we've never even lived? We've never had a track record. I've never had a track record of how a mother should be. But yeah, I had such high expectations of her. I literally had a fantasy of how a mother should be. This is probably why we love movies like the Cinderella, you know. Oh my gosh, I'm a princess and the prince is just gonna see me. The fantasy that is not even real, it's not even grounded in reality. That would never come through. But we love it. We love to stay in our heads. We love to stay in our minds. Because reality is a very painful pill to swallow. Reality is the truth, including both positive and negatives. What something or someone truly is, without the filter of our desires or expectations. We don't want to see someone that we like in a negative light. For example, people look up at Rihanna, Chris Brown, or Kanye West. But then when a scandal comes out, some people are backing him. He would never do it. No, that's not him. But we don't even know the person. But here we put them on such high pedestal, such high standards. We idolize them. Why do we do that? Why have I idolized a way that I want my life to be? For a long time I've idolized how I want to live my life. In my head, I can see everything. I'm at home with a couple millions in my bank. You know, I have a kid. I'm able to put my kid in the best school. I'm making money. I'm making YouTube right now. That's just idealization. And for most of us, the idealization is almost reality, which is a lie. The reality is I do not have $1 million in my bank account yet. But the idealization gives me a picture of what I want from my future. It gives me a goal per se to chase or to go after. But if I take that idealization and put on someone, that's really unfair because the person doesn't know what type of person they want me to become. You know, they don't know who I want them to become. So when they act in a way that goes against my idealization, I condemn them for it. But that's unfair on their part because they don't even know what is going on in my head. The reason why I think we idolize is number one, hope, escapism from the desire for control and the fear of vulnerability. Hope is a very strong one. I hope this man does the right things. I hope this woman does the right things. But again and again and again and again, they keep treating you like trash. But you idealize the future that you hope to have. But the reality is, they're not there. Now, they could be there in the future. Could. But as of right now, they're not. So what happens? I realize that we tend to love the idealized version of the person than the person that's in front of us. I realized that I loved the idealization of my mother that I had in my head more than the one that was right in front of me. I'm sorry, Mom. I should. That is really unfair. Which honestly taps into how I think people see love. It's kind of like if your idealization of who I thought you were clashes with the reality of who you actually are, they start treating you different. It's like, now, oh my gosh, you're disgusting. What we had wasn't real. I never believed that you were this, you were that. And that's why most of us lie. Do you do this? Do you do that? No. Because I want the idealization in your mind to still, in a way, still be crystallized. People get into a relationship not on based on reality, but mostly on idealization or who they hope the other partner is. If that girl told you how many body counts she got, are you still gonna be with her? Because that's the reality. Are you still going to love her the same? Are you still going to care for her the same? If that boy told you that, yeah, is looking at other girls and he has a desire, are you still going to love him? Probably not. Because we love the idealization of each other. And reality is a very bitter pill to swallow. And please don't get me started on social media. Social media is one of those things that just portrays the idealization of how someone should be. I'm pretty sure you've seen the woman that bakes everything from scratch. Oh my god. That's definitely the ideal woman a lot of men would want. I want my woman to bake everything from scratch. Now they are looking for their idealization in women that don't even want to be that, which makes them want to control you, which makes them want to control the situation or the narrative or whatever they can control. But you also have your own idealization. The women also have the idealization of who they want the man to be. They see that woman with the Gucci bag and everything, like, my man got me this and this and this and this and this. But the man that you're gonna be with 9 out of 10 is not going to be a millionaire or someone that you see on TV or YouTube. Now you both can walk towards that. I would love for us to be more truthful of what we idealize from each other and the reality that we're in right now. I think this is a very big thing to ask, but I believe that might build more trustful and honest relationship. Babe, this is the type of person I idealize for you to be, or probably even not, or don't even idealize people, just see people as they are and just love them for who they are. Yes, she's not perfect. Yes, she did this, she did that, but I love her, or I love him. You see, the idealization of relationship, I believe, tend to make the relationship crumble afterwards when the idealization doesn't come through. And social media fuels our idealization or who we hope to be with. We watch movies and say, wow, I want to be a Spider-Man. I want to be a Superman. We are literally kids that are still roaming about in our brain. We are no different than the 4-year-old who thinks it's Spider-Man. We're no different from the 2-year-old who takes a spider and thinks with the spider biting him is going to become a Spider-Man. I did that. I was that silly. But that's the danger of idealization. We give our children this idealization of what Christmas is. The Santa comes through the chimney, gives you presents. But if you tell a kid, hey, Santa isn't real, but it's a good idea, it's a good story to give to yourself because it's nice. But if you tell the kid Santa isn't real, everyone starts saying you're a bad guy. But people don't want to leave the idealization world because the idealizing things is fun. It keeps the minds busy. It's, in a way, intoxicating. Instead of idealizing other people, idealize yourself. Idealize who you want to be. Instead of idealizing who you want your partner to be, idealize the type of man you want to become or the type of woman you want to become. And trust me, that is mind shattering. That is a very painful thing to do. And I'm doing it to myself. I'm idealizing myself on who I want to become. And it's painful. Every single day I wake up, I'm like, I'm still not that guy. I wake up again, I'm still not that guy. It gives me anxiety. It dampens my mood. It makes me sad. Because I've idolized who I want to become. And where the hell did that even idealization come from? I don't understand. The things that we read. One time I read the Bible and I saw how God gave his only begotten son. And I thought to myself, I want to be able to sacrifice the way God did. And the idealization of becoming like God sparked in my head from then on. Now, this is a very painful thing to do to yourself. The reality is I most likely wouldn't. But the dream is just so amazing. I live in my head every single time. I sit down and vision what type of future I want for myself. The ideal world, the way things should be. But it's not real. Now you can work towards being that girl or that man, but it's going to take effort, real effort. And if idealizing yourself is already difficult enough, imagine idealizing other people. I have grown to accept the imperfections of myself and everyone else around me. But that's what makes relationship fun for me now. It's like, oh my God, I love the imperfection of you. The imperfection makes you human. That's why I do not trust humans who come across as perfect, because I know you're imperfect. I can't connect with someone who tries to show me that they are imperfect. It's okay for you to be imperfect. I believe it builds, as long as you're willing to work towards clearing up your daddy issues or mommy issues or your issues, and I'm also trying to clear up my issues. Shouldn't that be fine? But that in itself may cause another type of idealization. The hope that it will change. And you're idealizing the world where he or she isn't who they're currently. We must be able to draw a line that I hope for you to become this, and I have to see effort. And we must be able to walk away, which is easier said than done. Way easier said than done. Because the idealization of things got us on a chokehold. Idealization of others makes us overlook flaws, challenges, can prevent personal development or deeper relationships. The idealization of things or people can make us lose the ability for us to grow ourselves, for us to become a better person, because we are so tied up on who we hope this person should be. Embracing imperfection, or I guess in a way reality, can be very calming, because I know who you are. I see you, and I believe that should be the basis of good relationships, based on reality. But we also have the idealization that we want to accomplish. Embracing imperfection can lead to more fulfilling relationships, personal growth, and self-acceptance. It can bring peace to your mind and soul. The right balance of reality and idealization can be the right concoction for a good relationship or a good life. As of right now, I don't have 100,000 subscribers, but that's my goal. The idealization is to get 100,000 subscribers. The idealization is to have a good life. That's the idealization. The reality is I'm not there yet. And how do I get there? How do I become the person I want to become? So that's where the steps comes in. So let's say you're in a relationship. You guys are not where you want to be yet. And no one is, because when you get to where you want to be, there's also more idealization of also where you also want to be again. It's like the idealization is always ever increasing. So I believe a good relationship should be based on the reality that we are in right now, and the idealization that we want the relationship to be in 5 years or 10 years. And I think that's a beautiful relationship. Might be, yes, I do understand. It will be chaotic at first, because we would most likely argue, talk about each other. But yeah, these are sacrifices we would have to make if we want to have a longevity, a long lifespan when it comes to a relationship wise. If you want the relationship to have a long lifespan, I believe. Look through your Instagram or YouTube and ask yourself, how has social media been shaping your idealization of life, or women, or men? Porn is a very strong thing, and Instagram is a very strong thing for women. because women have this idealization of how they want their man to be, how they want him to act, and men have an idealization of how they want their woman to look like, but they've never interacted with people like that before. They've never had a pattern that shows that that's possible. Now, I'm not saying that's not possible, but like I said, it has to be something idealistic, something that you believe you can get, or something that you believe you can achieve, and take that a step-by-step process. So the number one is having a plan. Visualize your idealization in detail, in your head, write it down, whatever you want to do. I like to do it in my head because my head goes crazy. But have an idealization of how you want things to be. It has to be possible, not what social media told you to, or what you have to ask people questions, do some research on how possible this is, because idealization can be really deceiving. Idealization can deceive us into thinking it's possible when it's not possible. It has to be something that is possible. Then the reality is you're not there yet. Then start to search ways on how you can become or achieve those things. A step-by-step guide. And to be I'll really appreciate, or it will be really good for you if you log off social media for a while. Snapchat, TikTok, so on and so forth. Accepting reality can be very peaceful and way less torturous over the long run. What I realize makes reality torturous is because I have an idealization in my head that I am not fulfilling. Let's say I am not making this video right now and I'm in bed. My idealization of what I want for myself would torture me to stand up to make a video, which also needs a variety of things like self-discipline or respect and so on and so forth, which puts you in this rabbit hole of self-improvements because you're trying to be better. You're trying to be the idealization of the person you have in your head. Probably you never get there, or probably you would, but you're always trying to work. What I realized is the only problem I see about reality is the idealization of what I want to be not coming through and tormenting me in my reality. I wake up, I'm like, I'm still not that guy. I need to. So it pushes me to stand up, to work on myself, to make YouTube videos like this and stuff. So I do believe living in reality is way more beneficial than living in idealization, because idealization isn't even real. It's not something you can base your relationship on. It's not something you can base anything on, because it's not real. You might be in love, or you might love it, but you learn to hate it after a long run.